In this video, we're going to be working on a drilling type of energy that you can use in Tai Chi. And the idea with this one is that when you've made contact with your fist, you can continue pushing through with your strike and cause more tissue damage by rotating your fist as you push, as opposed to just pushing through with the strike. Now, this is something that you'll find in many other martial arts. It's not just a Tai Chi thing, but it is a part of Tai Chi, and if you use it with Tai Chi principles, such as the body motion being the power, not just arm muscle, then you can get a lot of use out of it. Well, hopefully you don't get a lot of use out of it, because hopefully you're not in fights frequently enough to need it. But you can get a lot of good training out of it, at least. So there's two different ways that I require my students to know how to be able to practice this skill with a punching bag. Now, with a punching bag is probably the more difficult way to practice this. If you have someone that can hold a pad for you and you can practice your drilling strikes with that, it's going to be a lot easier, because they're going to be able to put those pads at angles that would make it easier for you to practice these. But you can do it with a punching bag. You just have to be a little bit more careful. Maybe you would want to wear some gloves for this, because it can be a lot more rough on the knuckles. But there's two different ones that we work with in my class mainly, and that's drilling coming up and drilling going down. So the idea is, maybe you're doing push hands something, sparring with someone, whatever, and you make contact with them, but you weren't able to get a good strike in. You can still use your body motion, you can still push through, but instead of just pushing with the fist, instead of just striking from there, you can twist and rotate the fist to make it more damaging as you push through. So we'll start with the one going down, and you can start with your fist palm up on the bag, and what you're going to do is rotate it toward the thumb side and push down as you twist, leading with the hips, generating the power from the waist, from the lower dantian, and sink there to put the power into the bag. So again, we'll start from here, and we'll do it kind of slow because it can be rough on your knuckles, but you can pick up the speed as you get used to it, and you're just going to rotate as you push in and down and sink. From here, in, down, sink. So then it would eventually turn into something like this, where you use that body motion and push through while you're rotating. So again, start with the palm up, rotate toward your center line or toward the middle part of your body. You're not rotating out and away to the outside, you're rotating in. So the spiral is like coming in toward your center rather than away from. So if I put my fist against the bag, say the bag's here and it's clear, then what I'm doing is I'm rotating this way as I'm twisting and sinking there. This. Now the second one that you can do, instead of rotating and pushing down, is to rotate up. And with this one, the rotation is different. So if I was going down, I started with the fist up, and I rotated it toward my center line this way and sunk down. Now with this one, you're turning it the other way. So you would start with your fist flat with the palm facing down instead of up like we did before. So the palm's down, fist is flat, and you're turned toward your target, and you twist and push from the base, from the lower dantian, from the waist, up and into the target as it rotates there. So it's kind of like an uppercut in a way, but the motion is different and the power is different, because you're not starting from down here and putting power into it, trying to knock someone back. The idea is you're starting at the point of contact and generating the power to twist in as you do the motion. So you start with the hand, palm down, touching the bag, and what you're going to do is twist and push in. So it's in and up here. And again, it's got to come from here. It's got to come from here. It can't just be that, or else it's not going to do you a whole lot of good. So from here, twist, push. Again, twist, push. Again, twist, push. This. Notice I'm not going like this. I'm keeping my root, I'm keeping my base, and I'm using this motion of my body twisting to generate that power instead of coming up with it. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this one can be very rough on your knuckles, so what I would recommend is maybe start your first 2 or 3 without anything on your hands, just to kind of get a little conditioning going, especially if you're not used to hitting things or grinding your knuckles on things. And then put on some gloves and go from there and practice however much you want to. And slowly work toward doing more and more without the gloves, but do it in a smart way. Like, you don't want to just destroy your knuckles right out the gate. You want to work toward conditioning them to be able to withstand it without crippling yourself. So by all means, use gloves if you need to, but try it at least a couple times first, each time you practice without the gloves on. Maybe even just once per practice session, just so you start and you can slowly work up toward not needing the gloves as you practice this. So it's again important to remember as you do this, try to stay as relaxed as possible. Don't use any more muscle tension than you absolutely have to. You want to be as relaxed as you can be. Use your body motion to generate the power, not just push through with the arm. It should be body motion that generates the power for those strikes, whichever one it is. So as you go through this, always be checking yourself, always be looking for that relaxation. Look for the way that you can do it in the most relaxed way possible without giving up any technique or any good structure. And as you go through this exercise, keep in mind what it is that you're trying to do. So you don't want to do your rotation and then hit the bag. You want to be rotating while you're pushing against the bag, using that force that you're generating from your base. Anyways, that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you found it very useful. So I want to talk to you about something that I found absolutely invaluable for me while I was training in China. Now, while I was over there, I was training 6 to 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and that is a lot of training. And as you can imagine, it takes a lot of energy to do that kind of training. So something that I had sent to me while I was over there to make sure I could keep my energy up was what's called Pure Trim. And they're basically meal replacement shakes. Now, they're used a lot of times for weight loss. If someone's looking for a meal replacement that has a lot of good nutrients in it, that's going to supply their body with the nutrition it needs while helping them lose weight rather than starving them while they're trying to lose weight. This is an excellent way to go, and that's kind of what the product was designed around, the concept that it was designed around. But also, if you're just in a hurry, like I'm a college student, I teach, I work, I have a lot of stuff going on, so I don't always have time to make a meal, but I don't want to revert to like eating fast food from a fast food place because I know that's not healthy at all. So if you're like me and you very rarely have time to prepare a proper meal, it's a great way to still get your nutrition and be able to continue your daily routine. So it comes in a box like this. The box has 10 packets in it. So it's little packets like this, and each one of those packets is basically a meal replacement. So even if you're not in a hurry and you're not necessarily looking for a nutritious fast food, the thing that I love most about these shakes is that they give you a lot of energy. They don't have like caffeine or any of the other normal stimulants that you would find. They're just good nutrition. So your body can use that nutrition to actually access all the energy in the food that you're eating rather than having to try to stimulate your body with something like caffeine. So that was the main thing that I noticed when I was using these shakes while I was over in China. So that at least was my experience with these shakes. I'm in love with them. I share them with anyone that I know that is looking either for more energy or a quick way to have a healthy meal on the go. If any of that sounds interesting to you, then check them out. Pure Trim shakes. There's vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate flavors. You can get them at the website that's right here at the bottom of the screen. Check them out. Pure Trim.